So I feel like I do have a lot of hurts, habits, and hang-ups. I made a decision about 10 years ago now that I would take a job that took me away from my children, my oldest two children, my 15-year-old and my 13-year-old. Moving there and taking on that job has really put a lot of strain on our current relationship. My kids were, 4 and 3 years old. And so the relationship now between me and my children is really strained because it seems as if things haven't changed. So I went into a really dark place. I did a lot of partying, a lot of inappropriate relationships. Outside of drug abuse, I probably did it all. And so it just really took me down a road that caused depression. And I actually lived by myself. And so thoughts had crossed my mind that if I died, nobody would know. It would be days before somebody checked on me. It would be, I would just be an afterthought. Like I just truly felt like I didn't matter. And so I went to a Christian church in Winchester, Kentucky, and that's where I found Celebrate Recovery. And so when I walked in, first of all, I took myself straight to the second row, but in front of me was a guy sitting in there. In the back of his shirt says, "I'm one of those people." And then I thought, well, what does one of those people mean, So I went on this journey through a step study, which really helped me to connect with other women, which honestly was something that I struggled with. It was just connecting with positive people. Forgiving myself was something that I really probably struggled the most with, It took me a while to even understand that God forgave me. But I can forgive people, but forgiving myself has been definitely a journey. And for me, I think where that journey has taken me has just been to understand that I'm perfectly imperfect. I can make decisions and they're wrong decisions, but I'm a sinful person. And that's who, I was born to be, as somebody that's sinful. But I don't have to keep going back to that, And that's one of the things too about when I work in this ministry with Celebrate Recovery is that people don't have to keep going back. Like you can make that decision of, yes, you've made horrible decisions in your past. You've done horrible things. But that's not who God has defined you to be. You're not defined by your past. You're defined by God's grace and forgiveness. So it was learning about God's grace and God's forgiveness, but it's just knowing that there is beauty in ashes. That you can be dirty and you can be gross and not so pretty, but to know that once God gets a hold of you, He is definitely going to bring beauty out of it all.